Good Friday evening, everyone. Severe Weather Team 9 meteorologist Nathan Shutt for your weather update. And we are tracking, well, unfortunately, a lot of the same tomorrow, but we're looking forward to Sunday and Monday. That'll feature some warmer temperatures and at least a return of some sunshine coming our way. Thanks so much for tuning in on this Friday evening. Without further ado, let's jump into things. And again, to take a look at the summary of this edition of Nate at 8, coming up, we are going to be tracking that cloudy and chilly Saturday. But like I already hinted at, we are seeing some sunshine return Sunday into Monday and some warmer temperatures as well. And we do have the potential to track some showers going throughout this weekend, and likely we'll be tracking some showers and even thunderstorms by Monday. So we'll dive a little bit into that as well here over the next few days of what to watch for going into next week. So that is what's coming up for this edition of Nate at 8. Starting off with those temperatures, and boy, was it was a cold April day. These temperatures that we saw are much more typical of February, and it certainly looked more like February today too, didn't it? We had that little chill to the air as well. Those winds around 5-10 miles per hour. So it felt like it was in the 30s throughout the day as temperatures topped off mid to lower 40s for a high across the area. And Mother Nature just being cruel to us today. There's no doubt about it. As chilly as it was, there's our highs: 44 at Wheeling Howard County Airport, 41 at New Philadelphia. More reminiscent of what we had earlier into the week on that Tuesday, where highs made it just into the 40s. Now, looking ahead, like I mentioned, I do think we're seeing a lot of the same into Saturday. I think it's another rather cloudy and chilly day tomorrow. We do finally see some clearing tomorrow night. That will translate then into Sunday, where we're dealing with at least some sunshine. And Sunday is when we're looking forward to some warmer temperatures. We're climbing back closer to seasonal values, likely then back above normal for Monday. That'll be our warmest day here over the next week, where high temperatures are closer to 70 degrees. A cold front passage that does return showers and thunderstorms Monday, then drops highs back closer to 50 Tuesday, Wednesday. Be back closer to about 60 degrees Thursday and Friday, maybe just into the 60s into that 2-day stretch. A little bit of a cool down then into Saturday, but it does look like temperatures are going to start to pick back up. So by Easter Sunday, I think there's good odds we're back near, if not into the 60s. And I do still think that following week we can see temperatures climb to not only seasonable values, but even possibly some days of above normal values. We can get a little warmer stretch into that following week, but certainly here for this coming week ahead, there are still certainly more cool days than warm days. Only one warm day here compared to normal as we look ahead throughout this week. But hopefully we could string together a few more of those into that following week after Easter Sunday. So that's what we're going to be hoping for. I think that potential is there here in just a matter of a couple weeks. So clouds and radar showing those quiet conditions tonight. Again, just a lot of cloud cover. Only a slight chance that we're seeing any precipitation, though, overnight and into tomorrow. I think we maintain a lot of cloud cover in place. Then not only dealing with cloudy skies tomorrow, but I think better odds with respect to what we had today to even see a passing shower or two. Now, what we would see is light. It's brief, but it is possible. A sprinkle, light shower briefly at times throughout Saturday. That is possible to start off. It's still just on the chilly, damp side, dreary. Yeah, just unfortunately not ideal for the start of the weekend. And Saturday night, then not only does the rain chance drop off, but as you can see, we finally start to get some clearing going into Sunday morning, starting off closer to freezing Sunday morning, and then temperatures will start to pick up, likely topping off closer to that 60-degree mark into Sunday afternoon. Not sunny, unfortunately, which would be nice, but as you can see, there's still some breaks in that cloud cover for the second half of the weekend. Now, we will have to watch, I think, later into the day, Sunday afternoon, evening. There is a potential for another shower or two later on into the day. Again, still looking mostly dry, but we may spot a passing shower or two later in the day, Sunday. That would taper off Sunday night. We start off Monday dry, but we're going to watch then by Monday afternoon and evening. At this point, we will be dealing with more widespread showers and thunderstorms moving back into the area. This is out ahead of a cold front passage that then drops temperatures from closer to 70 Monday afternoon, then likely back closer to 50 going into the middle of next week. So to recap that weekend forecast for you, to start off, well, a lot of the same as today, I think, unfortunately. A lot of cloud cover in place. If we're going to hope for some sun, it's going to be later in the day Saturday. Maybe we could see some clearing, but it does look like a lot of that clearing is going to hold off more so for the overnight hours on Saturday. By Sunday, at least we're spotting some sunshine. We do have the potential, though, for a shower returning going into the afternoon and evening. High temperatures do look to climb back, at least in the 50s, but I think there's a good chance we're closer to 60 into Sunday afternoon. Our rain chances, like I already mentioned, are going to pick up then by Monday into Tuesday. We're going to deal with likely more rain that 2-day period than what we're going to see for this weekend. Showers and even thunderstorms likely the latter part of Monday. Showers then likely carry over into Tuesday, but by Wednesday, we will be drying back up. And yes, it does look like on Monday, we have that potential for severe weather. So it's still a bit early yet when discussing severe weather risk being a few days out, but we are certainly going to keep an eye on this. Nothing impactful with those showers this weekend. Nothing there that's going to be an impact at all, just at most a nuisance. So we are certainly going to be, at this point, keeping an eye on Monday as those storms with that cold front passage could be severe into the latter part of Monday. So it's possible and certainly something that you're going to want to stay tuned for over the next couple of days, as especially by Sunday into Monday, but even starting tomorrow, I'm going to start to take a deeper dive into to actually assess the risk of how high of a risk for severe weather will we have. That's going to be the question. How high of a risk do we have? Right now, it does look like it's possible. As we start to gain better confidence on how conditions can set up into the latter part of Monday, then you'll start to see how high or low of a risk we have for severe weather. So certainly stay tuned for that as we go throughout the weekend, as it's still fairly quiet in terms of, we're not dealing with anything impactful this weekend. We certainly still don't want to let our guard down with that potential for severe weather into the latter part of Monday. So your 9+1 day forecast, Lola joining us this evening. Good evening. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Thank you for tuning in, Lola. Our 9+1 day forecast, that shower possible going into your Saturday as well as Sunday, but both days look mostly dry. Again, what we would see for tomorrow is more of a sprinkle, a passing light shower that would be fairly brief. Sunday, that's going to be more confined to the afternoon, evening hours with a passing shower possible. Again, both days, though, do look mostly dry, not an overly wet weekend at all. The main story, temperatures finally climb back closer to 60, and we finally spot some sunshine. That's going to be the big story of Sunday. We finally get back into the 50s at least, and we finally spot some sunshine. That's going to be the bigger story than any showers this weekend. By Monday, though, the main story will be the rain, as we will be dealing with showers and thunderstorms that are much more widespread and unfortunately have the potential to be impactful with that potential for severe weather later into the day on Monday. By Tuesday and even by Monday night, the risk for thunderstorms fall off, but we do have some showers that likely linger as temperatures will fall back into the 50s for a high, and then we'll climb back closer to 60 late next week. A little bit of a cool down does look to follow then going into Easter weekend. By Easter Sunday, though, I think temperatures are picking back up, and we start what I think can be a period of at least more seasonable to above normal temperatures for the following week. So I do think that we can hold on to some hope that we can string together some milder days for that following week after Easter Sunday. So that's the hope at this point. The pattern does look like it could trend a bit milder into that stretch. Donna, good evening to you as well, joining us this evening. Appreciate you tuning in. Renee, good evening to you. Happy Friday, everyone tuning in. Hope you have some fun weekend plans. And well, I know we can't plan much outside, unfortunately. It's not good outdoor plans this weekend. Maybe a little more so Sunday, but hopefully nonetheless that you had a wonderful week and hopefully you'd have a good weekend coming up. I'd like to get off this roller coaster weather, please. Yeah, Lola, hopefully we can string together more mild days into that following week. I'm hoping we can get more consistent warmth, as it's just been hard to get here as of recent, and we're not getting it next week either. We have our Monday, that's going to be our one and only day of above normal temperatures, and from there it's still rather cool for a lot of this stretch going through next week. But hopefully after Easter Sunday, we can start to see there's no, I still can't rule out at least a cool day in the mix, but hopefully we're dealing with more mild than cool days into that following week. Up and down temperatures. Yeah, it is certainly that roller coaster ride. Yeah. The temperatures dropping off here later this week, and now we're climbing back up into Monday, and then cooling back down into Wednesday, and then climbing up a bit going into late next week. So absolutely right, it is a bit of a roller coaster ride. 'Tis the season for these temperature swings, unfortunately, and again, we're kind of holding out for hope that that following week after Easter Sunday, that hopefully we can string together more mild days than just one coming up over the next week. Hopefully we can get more than one day where highs are near, if not into the 70s. That would certainly be nice. Normal highs are climbing into the 60s this time of the year, but this pattern certainly nowhere near that for a lot of these days. 50s, 40s again for tomorrow, likely. So for a lot of these days, especially here over the next 5 days, we only have one, maybe two Sunday. I think we come up short of 60. But yeah, a lot of these days, these temperatures are still cool for this time of the year. That is for sure. Temperatures we had for today are more typical into February, early March than anything like what we get into April this time of the year. Something else to note before we say goodbye is that this Monday, now I know we're not spotting much sun. It would be great if we were to have some sunny days here in the mix to enjoy this. But the sunset will occur at 8 o'clock Monday. So we're looking forward to that. And it'll be after Monday that our sun will set after 8 p.m. So that is something else noteworthy for this evening, that the sun will be setting right around 8 o'clock Monday. And after that, it is after 8 p.m. So that is certainly something big to mention as well here over the next week. We're going to be looking forward to some of those later sunsets. Again, hopefully we can actually get a nice sunny day to enjoy a beautiful evening instead of dealing with thunderstorms with that late 8 o'clock sunset on Monday. Renee says more April showers. Yep, more on the way. Maybe spotting a couple throughout the weekend, but certainly a lot more into Monday as well as Tuesday. And then maybe some again around next Friday. So that'd be our days next week, Monday into Tuesday, and again around Friday are probably the days to watch, I would say, for some showers looking ahead into next week. It does look like, as of now, for Easter Sunday, it looks like the rain is going to hold off. We will be watching, though, into Monday. We can have some rain move in. So hopefully the timing doesn't change too much on that potential for rain, as I think we can have some move in early into that following week. So we will have to watch. If the timing gets bumped earlier, then yeah, we may have a shower threat Sunday. But as it stands now, the rain does look to hold off for Easter Sunday. And again, temperatures look to start to climb back up after a bit of a cool down Saturday into Easter Sunday. It's still early yet, but that is an early look on how things could be setting up for Easter Sundays. Hopefully the rain will hold off, mix of sun and clouds, temperatures fairly seasonable, and that would be a pretty good setup for Easter Sunday. So hopefully it pans out, but doesn't look too bad as it stands right now for Easter Sunday. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Again, I hope you had a great Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up. Of course, the next edition of Nate at 8 will be Monday evening. So until then, make sure to stay tuned with meteorologist Amanda Verrier as we go throughout the weekend for the latest on that potential for severe weather on Monday. And of course, we'll be right back here Monday evening, possibly even doing a live stream covering severe weather. So may see that maybe the next time we talk is that we'll be tracking severe thunderstorms. Hopefully not, but unfortunately that potential is there. So of course, make sure to stay tuned for the latest. Until then, throughout the weekend with Amanda Verrier, we'll be right back here Monday evening to keep you updated at that point on any severe thunderstorms in our area. Have a great weekend.